And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the PiGosaur Cup number 42. Whew, we are back. We have returned. We have returned here with the final series of the broadcast. Let's go. Let's go. We have not the expected match. I mean, we expected a TvP, sure, 100% from the beginning of this tournament, but not the one that we got. We expected ByuN versus Hero, but no, instead we have ByuN versus Shameless in the grand finals. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shameless Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy, as his teammate was just brought down. It is Shameless. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, it is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our TvP against Shameless, who was able to bring down Hero 3-0 in a very fast PvP matchup, in a very fast series. And as I mentioned before, Shameless, 10 hours ago, he played against ByuN, and he 2-0'd him. He 2-0'd him in the Wardy TV European League. So Shameless, less than 24 hours ago, again, 10 hours ago, he already did bring ByuN down. We'll see if we can do it again. We'll see if ByuN can get his revenge. Again, I didn't get to see those matches. 10 hours ago, I was asleep. I was in bed, Pappy. Yeah, I was fast asleep, of course, as it was very, very late in the evening in Australia for the Wardy TV European League. So I was in bed. So I didn't get to see those matches. I don't know what occurred in that series. I don't know how ByuN, or I mean, we can assume how ByuN played. ByuN, he's very standard in how he plays. I say that double gas. Ooh, double gas open out of ByuN. Now, ByuN is known for his mid game in TvP. He is known for his mid game. He's known for these economic builds and more aggression in the mid game instead. But this goes against that. Double gas opener, faster factory. We're on Pylon. Pylon is known for all-ins. Pylon is known to favor aggression because the rush distance by ground is short, the third bases are more accessible, the rush distance is more direct as well, so we do see and we do favor all-ins and aggressive builds. We'll see if ByuN goes for that. We'll see if Shameless goes for that as well. We've been seeing a lot of charge openers on this map. I'm referring to Twilight Council, into Charge, into Storm, staying on 2 bases, getting up to like 6 gateways and 2 bases as well. It's going into a delayed third expansion. We'll see if Shameless is one to embrace that as well, or if he goes for a standard build, if he goes into Blink Stalker instead. As we have our 1-1-1 out of ByuN. There we go. As we have double Reaper into the main. Let's get it. Gets one. Gets one probe so far. Nice pick up here by ByuN. It's one worker. As Reapers, they do head down to low ground. Likewise, Hellion does bust in, and ByuN going for hyper aggression gets a second probe. 2 probes, not bad. 2 probes back into the main. That is not a full wall off. And he's going for a 3rd probe. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. This army is going to be cleaned up with 3 workers. Not a bad start. Getting a 4th probe even as well. And there it is. We called it at the start, Charge. Again, this has been very trendy. It's been very meta as of late, going for Charge on smaller maps. Basically, this is a hyper safe way to play. Hero pioneered this a couple of months ago in GSL Season 1. If you watched Hero against Cure, this was in the peak of the 2-base all-in meta of TvP. Hero, he was going for a lot of charge all-in, specifically against Cure in that best of 7. And since then, it's kind of been the go-to kind of like hyper safe opener if you're expecting your opponent to be aggressive. And we're expecting aggression out of ByuN, at least here on Pylon. There's a bit of a give and take. Because we're opening Charge and not Blink, it means that there's no map control for Shameless. He has no map control. He has no way to chase down medevacs, to contain ByuN, to poke into the bases, to threaten Blinks into the bases as well. That's not available to him. Instead, this is designed to shut down a frontal push, like a head-on fight, a head-on engagement, a head-on tank push specifically from ByuN. And speaking of, he is making tanks. He's getting into Tank Banshee. First shot is deflected. Shameless does hold. And ByuN is not fully aware as to what's going on. And again, we should be staying on 2 bases a little bit longer. Yep, there we go. So 2-base Charge into 2-base Storm. So Temple Archives on the way. Heavily delayed 3rd. And again, we're delaying the 3rd here because it's less about being greedy and economic. It's more about being safe and surviving whatever the hell's coming his way. As we have our 3-1-1 setup. We've built up towards a second tank so far. Banshee's moving out. How many Banshees so far? One Banshee, no cloak. There are Stalkers in position. Storm has begun. Now Shameless, of course, takes his third. But again, a delayed third base. Third after charge, after Storm. Or after Temple Archives. See, Banshee does dip into the main. Stalkers are in position. One probe goes down. Late reaction by Shameless. Late reaction out of Shameless. I say one, getting up to 3 probe kills. Oof. 3 workers falling. The other concerning thing is you can see here we have 2 observers back at home. Shameless, okay, he does have thankfully 1 observer across the map. He needs to get eyes on the move out. As ByuN so far is just going for drop play. Oh, he wants that observer. Yeah, he does want it, does find it. Observer goes down. Nice pick up here by ByuN. Nice pick up. ByuN does fan out. Going for his own drop. ByuN is moving in. Going for his drop into the main. Does go for his drop. Storm is ready. How quickly to react? As Marines, they get into the mineral line. Oh, there's the Storm. He gets 1, 2, 3 probes already going to be going down. 3 probe kills. For a full medevac drop, I would say this is a better trade for Shameless. Shameless, he defends well. Well enough. Likewise, he's here at his own third. ByuN just now taking his own third TC, getting his own expansion. Ghost Academy's on the way. And we're building up. We're building up into the mid-game. Shameless, he does break out. Now, I don't think Shameless has to move in. If you look at this position, we have a bunker, we have a tank, we have a minefield here set up as well. Shameless, he checks for the third, which means he's out of position to defend against the double drop. And again, Shameless, he does not have to try to break this position on 2 bases. Like, let ByuN expand, let him move out, let him expose himself, and then the Protoss can move in. So a good call here by Shameless. Oh, pulls away.
Game paused.
And we do have a bit of a pause. Thankfully, this is a pause when there's no major fight happening, right? Both armies back off, both players are expanding, so we're in a bit of a lull here, and hopefully everything's okay. Hopefully everything is okay. As again, we're about to kind of reach a turning point here. Now, ByuN is expanding, and he's about to be scattered, right? There's an observer over the third, and Shameless will spot the expansion. This will prompt Shameless to move in with the army, and to try to catch ByuN out as he spreads himself thin, right? Right now, ByuN is heavily fortified on 2 bases, but when you expand like this, you're going to spread yourself between your bases. That's going to make it easier here for Shameless to push in, to engage. Now, as he moves in, then it's going to be up to ByuN to potentially counterattack. He's got his double drop ready. So ByuN is waiting for Shameless to show his hand. ByuN doesn't know where the army is, but if this army reveals itself at the third, then ByuN knows he can move in. Oh, was Shameless. I think he got a glimpse of the CC. Here we go, Prism into the main. Shameless, did he scout that command center? Here comes ByuN moving in. Does go for the mid-run. Do we force a recall? There it is. There's a recall back home. Does recall. That was the bay going down to delay Colossus production. Shameless, does he notice? He has to rebuild that robotics bay. And likewise, this drop is keeping Shameless busy. Now, ByuN, he will lose a medevac, true. He will lose this army, but he expands. Remember, if it wasn't for that double drop, Shameless would be pushing. He would be pushing, and remember, we had a Prism ready for the main, and his main army was pushing in towards that natural as well. Shameless, who was about to pull the trigger, but now he's forced back home. There's the bait. So late bait here out of Shameless. But he is forced back. ByuN back at home. He establishes his third base. This is a big moment here for ByuN. He has a third. The observer does confirm. And Shameless is rotating. He's rotating over towards the third base. Now, is Shameless too late? Is he too late to break this position now? I mean, now we have the minefield. The minefield has set up. We have the center tower. We have the tanks as well. ByuN, he's pretty well set up here. It's not going to be easy to push in, but that's why we're heavily reliant on what? On the Prism. Yeah, Prism does unload. The Prism going for the Warp into the main. Oh, no! Ooh, does barely get out of vision, out of range. And the Warp will complete. At the same time, Shameless, he tries to push up the ramp. But he fails to. Yeah, brutal tank shots. He cannot push up that ramp. It's not going to happen. And ByuN holds. ByuN holds. ByuN does defend. And Shameless, he can no longer break this 3-base setup. Shameless, he has to expand. He has to expand, has to back off, has to rebuild, has to max out. So ByuN, he survived. He survived that kind of like big pivotal moment here, which was taking his third. The next moment is ByuN taking a fourth. There it is. Fourth CC is on the way. ByuN is about to max out. He's moving in. Shameless, is he paying attention? Where are the storms? Ooh, the EMPs are brutal. There's a couple of storms left. And again, Shameless needs those storms. Now coming in. Just grazing the army. No major connections. No, we got the flanking storms. Let's go. Ooh, it does land. It does connect. Another storm as well. Yeah, ByuN getting caught out. Does take some massive storms to the face. Colossus has arrived. No Vikings. True. No Vikings to deal with that Colossus. Mine shot takes down 2 sentries. Nice mine shots. Nice connection. Here come the storms. Again, I think there's 1 storm left with the main army. The ghosts are exposed. That's a lot of ghosts going down. There's the final storm. And I'm afraid to look, that was how many? That was 6. 6 ghosts falling. Ghost count almost completely reset. Shameless, solid fight. Solid fight here at a Shameless. Remember, ByuN, he has no Vikings. He's just now beginning Viking production. Second starport's on the way. Colossus traded very well. Shameless moving in. Goes up. Not on the High Templar. Zella run by into the third. Nicely timed. SCV is going to be going down, distracting ByuN. Wasting some shots here on some depots. Colossus, we got to move in. Yeah, and Shameless is going for the kill. He's going for the kill. He's going for the throw, catching out reinforcements. Does make on in, takes out the Vikings. Oh, Storm's going to be popping up. And Shameless with good storms, he should be okay, but the EMPs are brutal. Yeah, brutal EMPs. Colossus, they rain down on the Bio army. Marauder stims in. Gets 1 Colossus, gets 1, and gets 2. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there from Shameless. Losing all 3 Colossus, but GG gets called. He still overwhelms, and Shameless takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Shameless, he does take a lead in the series. Again, a very nice engage there from Shameless. ByuN, he was caught out. Basically, when ByuN pushed out into the open, out into the center, he bled out 6 ghosts. He lost every single ghost. He had no more EMPs remaining. Likewise, he was late to switch into Viking production. He saw the bay. He cancelled the bay, but he was late to get a second starport and to build up those Vikings. So the Colossus, they reigned supreme. The Colossus were just so valuable there for Shameless, getting so many free shots off before the Viking count was ever really substantial. GG. GG well played. Shameless takes the lead, and now we're getting the game number 2. Let's go. Here we go. Again, a very intense game 1, but a lot of the intensity of game 1 came from the map, right? A lot of it came from Pylon. Pylon is a smaller map and aggression is favored. You saw how little time it takes from move from one end to the map to the other. Now we're loading into a much larger map of the map pool. We're loading into Tokamak, so a much larger map. Tokamak is known for longer games, later games, more defensive play as well. We might actually get into that late game with 2 max out armies and cut the map in half. It's possible. We might get there here as we load into Tokamak. Here we go. As our players are getting ready. Max is Shameless's Danish account. I think that's the better response. That's the... Yo, Max ain't got nothing on Shameless, back. Yeah. He's shameless. True. Is shameless. There we go. But our players, they do need a moment. They do need a moment here to settle in. And we'll see how ByuN will change his approach coming into Tokamak. I will say that, remember, ByuN went for a very aggressive build in Game 1. Here we could go for something more economic instead, go for a faster CC. If you remember, if you were here yesterday, you'll know that ByuN, he's quite fond of, I say quite fond of, a build that he did a specific, a greedier version that he showcased during EWC, which he showcased during Sparkling Tuna Cup as well, is going third CC before Rax, before Factory. After the first Rax, I should say, on location as well. On a map like Tokamak, you can get away with that sort of thing. I'm thinking of Tokamak, I'm thinking of Leylines, I'm thinking of maybe Maganatha. I'm a little bit less confident about Maganatha, but you can cut corners, and we have seen ByuN be hyper greedy in some of these games. In this matchup. So we'll see if he does whip that out here on Tokamak. Let's go. Let us go. Getting into our next game. Sim bem Gwen está papi. True. Gwen está even. True. He's shameless. As spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Terran player. We have the South Green Terran down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. The Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. We go, and ByuN opens up with a proxy. Okay, I was assuming that ByuN will be more economic and more greedy this game, but no, the answer is he's going for the proxy instead. So proxy right outside of the main at the third location. Shameless is going for a probe scout across the map. He is not checking the proxy location. Now with this probe scout, he will confirm that the Rax is missing. So he will have some information to work with. The problem, of course, with TvP is it is not uncommon for the Terran player to hide their Rax further back in their main, at their natural location, or at their third location for a fake proxy Rax instead. So it's going to be up to Shameless to confirm, and he may have to make an early Zealot to defend against this. Shameless does dip in. Meanwhile, the proxy Reaper. Now, as a reminder, this is not an all-in out of ByuN. It's only one proxy, only one SCV, only one Rax. So this is to get damage done early on. This is to get an early lead. To get an early lead. To get 2, maybe 3 probe kills, which would be insane. As Reaper is going to be rallied into the main. He's right in. Does it into the middle line. So far, we have to pull away the weakened workers, and one probe does not go down. Oh, he wants it. Oh, he gets surrounded. Oh my god, that should not have happened. He gets surrounded. He doesn't get any, right? He doesn't get a single probe. And Shameless defends. Shameless, he does hold, he does defend. We were assuming that ByuN will get 1, maybe 2 probe kills. He gets 0 worker kills. Ay. Again, the surround should not have happened. It should not have gone down. And with that, Shameless looking good. Now there's a second Reaper there. Now here comes second Reaper. There we go. Finally, he will get 1 probe kill. One probe goes down. He gets something for his troubles. Oh. Anyway, here comes the interception. ByuN gets cornered, and he will lose both Reapers. 2 Reapers for 1 probe. That is not worth it. Oh, God. So, a shaky start here for ByuN. He needs to achieve so much more with that, as he didn't even keep the Reapers alive. Like, that would have been something at least to keep them alive, but no, he lost both. And Shameless, looking good. Yes, looking solid. Hey. So Shameless takes the lead. He does take a lead early on. ByuN back at home is going to his own 2-on-1 setup. Eventually 3-1-1. And ByuN is not stopping with the aggression. Do you see what I see? Medevac. He's going for the Medevac follow-up. He's going for the drop. He's going for the Cyclone drop. ByuN knows he's behind. He knows that he needs to get some damage done across the map. So he's going for the Cyclone. Going for the drop. Meanwhile, we do see a Blink-based opener this time at a Shameless. This makes more sense. As a reminder, remember what the prerequisite was for opening up with a charge last game was how small the map was, and how aggression is often seen on maps like Pylon, on maps like Ultra Love. Those are the 2 maps where I feel like going blind charge works quite well. Here on larger maps, going into Blink makes more sense to keep up, to gain map control, to contain your opponent, and to shut down drop play. You know, here comes Cyclone dropping to the mineral and gets 1 probe. He gets 1. He gets 2. Oh, just the 1 for now. Just the 1 probe kill. And now Shameless is on notice. Now he's on notice. Now he is alert. Ooh, as the Medevac takes a lot of hits and thankfully gets away. It would have been disastrous if it had gone down. Thankfully, it does boost out. Thankfully, ByuN does race back home. Thankfully. And so here we go. Shameless moving out. How many? I believe 3K. Yeah, he has 3K blink. There is 1 tank, sorry, 2 tanks back at him to defend. 3 tanks now. ByuN is secure. ByuN should be fine. Now, you could argue that Shameless could actually find a way into the main, blink in, and then skirt around the edge, and then head behind the mineral line. There is an opening available. As the tanks are set, he does blink in. Yeah, blinks in. Yep, does skirt around the edge. Can he even get within range of Stim? No, Stim! Stim is going to go down. Massive pickup. Heavy delay here on Stim. He gets a depot as well. And the tanks are exposed. There's only 3 Marines. Only 3 Marines here. Shameless doesn't... He could go for the dive, but he doesn't go for it. He does back off. Recalls back home. But that was worth it. That was well worth it for Shameless. Sniping Stim was brutal. And that means that ByuN, he can't move out. 3rd CC. Yeah, it makes sense. 3rd CC for ByuN. He has to expand. He cannot push. So he's got to do something. And Shameless... he's in control of this game. He's straight up in control of this game. He shut down the early game. He denied Stim. ByuN is stuck at home. Shameless looking for any free damage here. Sharking in between the bases. He's looking for an opening. He wants that tank. Yeah, he blinks in. He blinks in. The tank does go down. 1 tank for a Stalker, well worth for Shameless. Back into the mineral line. Does get an SCV. It gets 1 SCV. And again, the reason why he's free to do this, no Stim. Remember, there should be Stim by now, but without Stim, ByuN cannot keep up. He cannot keep up with the movements, with the mobility here of Shameless. So he gets a tank, he gets an SCV. Behind this, we need splash damage. What's it going to be? Not Storm, not this time. Going to Colossus. So the Bay is done. Colossus production has begun, and ByuN, he has to be active like this. He's got to do something across the map. Let's go. Nice catch. Nice. If he had Stim, like Stim would have been the world of difference there. Unfortunately, no Stim. Oh, as we missed the blink. Yeah, Shameless, he does miss a blink. He could have taken down that Medevac. So does miss that chance, does miss that opportunity. Shameless cooking for sure. Like, once again, just to give context as to this kind of game state, a lot of this comes down to the shaky and failed early game of ByuN. I should actually say this even. TvP is very momentum based. It's very momentum based. In the early game, if you mess up, if you take a loss early on, it can be difficult to recover and things can snowball a little bit. So a lot of this comes back to the failed early game aggression out of ByuN. I'm referring to the Cyclone drop, I'm referring to the proxy racks as well. So this is why Shameless is looking so in control so far. It is not impossible to recover from being at a deficit, but it is difficult. And Shameless did a great job at just capitalizing on that, sniping Stim, of course, catching out a tank, deterring any move out. At least ByuN escaped with the medevac, at least. But again, we'll see if ByuN can recover. Of course, he can try to outposition and try to go for a counterattack, try to hit some of these fringe bases. But in a head-on fight, you do have to favor Shameless. Do have to favor Shameless. So it does rotate. Shameless, he's going to be moving in, pushing into a concave. He should not push into this, though. Yeah, Colossus, they're stuck in the back line. Does go for the bio, and does he have enough to get one tank, but only one tank? And again, there's no reason for Shameless to push in. Shameless is on 4 bases, now getting a 5th. So he's got to be careful. He doesn't have to commit. What Shameless can do, though, checking the trades here, is that Shameless, he can trade out Zealots. So he can push in, throw away his Zealots, back off, rebuild, and keep trading. But he doesn't have to go any further, as he's containing ByuN on 3 bases. And Shameless is going to calm down. Going to calm down, warp in more Zealots. Take it slow. Behind this is taking out, we have Blink DTs on the way. I wouldn't be opposed to taking into a second Robo, into Disruptors, or going into Storm, one or the other. As Shameless throwing down pylons, gaining and securing map control, making sure he sees any kind of drop play. I mean, you can see here 2 pylons, Observer, and a Zealot. And all that Shameless really has to do here is fight for the 4th. Fight for the 4th base of ByuN. If ByuN ever tries to expand, then Shameless can engage. Likewise, as Shameless is maxing out, as I said before, he can push into this, like just to throw away Zealots. But you gotta calm down. Shameless, he is moving in. And again, does not have to push up this ramp. There's no need. There's no need to push up the ramp. Rocks are knocked down. That's a lot of Vikings. Up to 10 Vikings. Which is why I'm a little bit concerned. Where's the extra splash damage? Where are the Disruptors? Where are the Storms? With enough Vikings, like the Colossus, they should not be able to really engage. Prism goes down. No more reinforcements. And ByuN takes the 4th. And with it losing that Prism, that means he cannot reinforce his army. Yeah, big moment here for ByuN. Now that he sniped the Prism, he can expand. And again, Shameless should be fighting for this. He should be fighting, he should be containing, but he fails to do so. Without that Prism, he has to back off. He has to back all the way off. There we go, now getting a 2nd, 3rd Robo. These Robos are late. So late Robos here by Shameless, late Disruptors. And ByuN is back in this. ByuN, he's back in this game. Shameless does have the higher base count, that is true, but I mean, that's kind of how the dynamic goes here of TvP. The big moment here is that ByuN establishes his 4th, which means he can max out. He can max out, he can start accumulating a bank as well. And that lead that Shameless had earlier, it's not as great as it once was. Not anymore. So the pressure's on Shameless here to try to gain it back. Again, just a really rough moment there for Shameless. And we'll see if we can take a better fight. Now, in a head-on engagement, now that we have more disruptors, how many? 3, soon to be 5. With 5 disruptors, Shameless, he can out-trade his opponent, he can take a better fight. But again, ByuN isn't pushing. ByuN is staying at home. He's staying very defensive here as he slowly gets another wave of CCs. We have 4 CCs on the way. The next big moment for ByuN is getting a 5th base, and again, Shameless should not allow ByuN to expand. Right now, it is on Shameless to make sure that doesn't happen. He already failed to deny the 4th. As here comes a 5th. 5th base is floating over. Like, sure, Shameless has a bank. That means nothing if ByuN can expand. Oh. ByuN out of position. Shameless getting on top of the ramp. Here comes the first Nova. Nova doesn't connect. Like he's able to back to Colossus. And while Shameless is distracted here on the left-hand side, ByuN expands. Yeah, ByuN, he's expanding. Shameless, again, he needs to either push in or needs to rotate, but the rotation will take so long. As the scan does reveal the rotation, so ByuN sees this. Shameless pushing in between the bases. He has to be careful not to be surrounded. True. Yeah, ByuN coming in from both angles, coming in from both sides. Nova's going up. Nice splits there out of ByuN. Better connection towards the end. One Colossus goes down. And Shamelessly bleeds out a lot of units here. Oh, the Novas are connecting though. There's a zone back. Meanwhile, where are the reinforcements? Where's the prism? There is no prism with this. Does warp in more zealots, but ByuN, he's establishing that 5th base. And as we mentioned, like Shameless, he can't just let this get up and running. At this point, Shameless needs to trade. Like, he needs to fight. Like, I mean, I know that I've been saying that for quite some time here, but Shameless, he has a 5k mineral bank. And what that means is that he can afford to be inefficient. He can afford to fight poorly, but fight enough to deny a base. And then just keep warping in, keep reinforcing, and keep trading like that, and do it well enough to contain ByuN on 4 bases. But Shameless is playing so scared. He's playing so scared here, which means this bank doesn't mean anything. He has 7,000 minerals, but he's not doing anything with it. He needs to throw these zealots away. And keep throwing them away. And Disruptor goes down. We go nukes across the map. ByuN, he gets his 5th base, and ByuN, he has momentum. He has momentum. Very much so. At this point, I'd say ByuN has a lead. DTs, they attempt to harass. And I'll say that Shameless is having a really hard time actually maneuvering here in the late game. His probes are going down. Bleeding out a lot of Stalkers, expensive losses there for Shameless. Remember, Shameless does not have a gas bank. Like, losing those Stalkers is brutal. At this point, Shameless, he does need the gases. Like, he needs to take extra gases, needs to saturate as he is undersaturated here. Maybe Nerves getting to Shameless at this point, as he is the more inexperienced player. Now, Shameless, he can still win a fight, but he has a lot riding on that fight. As he rotates over. Doesn't really get much done. He bleeds out a lot of Stalkers. Yeah, better trade here for ByuN. Shameless. He's on 17 gateways. That's good enough. So he has the production for it. Now we're going for Zealot run bys. We needed this earlier. We needed this much earlier. So I'll take a shutdown. He only gets one tank. But yeah, he's got 8,000 minerals in the bank. Like we can, like again, we can keep warping in more zealots. Keep going. Whatever you can get. But again, we needed this like 5 minutes ago. 7 minutes ago. There's army coming in, but he runs into the army. I mean, these are planetaries. That's the problem here with allowing ByuN to get the 5th base. Like, these planetaries are so secure, and now ByuN's into Mass Liberator. So, ByuN, he's outscaling Shameless. And Shameless just can't really do much here. Ah, nice Nova. But he's just being bullied back. He's just being bullied back. Once the Liberator count gets high enough, that's when you need Skytoss. You will need Skytoss once you get into Critical Mass Liberators, to get into Tempest production. Zealots, yeah, overrunning. Does catch all the ghosts. Again, the power of the Zealot. Does catch all the ghosts, but again, the anti-air is limited, going into Mass Stalker. And ByuN is spread thin. He's got a good chunk of army on the right-hand side, so he's exposed. You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 Liberators. Better fight here for Shameless. Ooh, no recall. Yeah, there's no recall. EMP on the Nexus. And Shameless, we got to trade a base for a base. Next eye falling. That's 27 probe kills. Now, if Shameless can actually push in between the bases and go for the production, then maybe. But now going for the fringe bases instead. Running into more Liberate. Jesus. There's so much freedom. Yeah, so much freedom. ByuN perfectly fine. Splits against the Novas. Rallies in the Liberators. As he has to siege up. And there we go. Liberators do reposition. And with that, ByuN takes the fight. Forces out Shameless, picking up more Immortals, more Disruptors. We're getting a little bit messy here. Tempest production has begun. Now, we're getting into really awkward game stage. Shameless, he's burning through a lot of his bank. Like the bank, he's burned through so much of it, trying to keep up with this. He's now switching into Tempest production. He's at least keeping ByuN busy. But one wrong move and ByuN, he'll break out and take down more bases. Oof. ByuN, he does drag the army within range of the Liberators. ByuN takes the fight. Shameless's economy is lackluster. He has a lot of bases, but he has no saturation. Like, the saturation here is very lackluster here for Shameless. So he has to you can see here he's making 7 probes at a time. And again, for the past like 12 minutes, like ByuN has been in control of this game. It's been in control. Shameless pushing him between the bases. Again, doing what he can. That's still going to be 20 probe kills going down, 22 even. Yeah, Shameless, he's being pulled apart. His economy is crippled. He will lose his army. That's 3 disruptors going down. Every disruptor even. Ay, ay, ay. And ByuN, at this point, he has done it. Nice Nova. Very nice Nova. Okay. Maybe, oh god. I was gonna say, if we can land a couple of Novas like that, then sure. Then Shameless is gonna be okay. But Shameless, he's broke. At this point, Shameless, he's broke. He has to rebuild his probes. He no longer has a bank to work with. Does an mining here. Picks up a Liberator, making use of the Tempest, making use of the terrain. Oof. This one Tempest almost goes down. And ByuN now he's going for the kill. He's going for the kill, going for the throats. There's nothing to stop these Vikings. There's nothing to stop him. He's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to get every single Tempest. The Zealots, they do trade well. The Nova doesn't quite connect. And down goes the Sky Toss. There's 1 Tempest remaining. Okay. 1 Tempest left over. So ByuN preserves his ground army. Takes down the base on the left-hand side. Took down all these bases as well. So bases are falling left and right. At this point, it's almost purely a gateway composition. It's purely just a Stalker Zealot army. And it just does not scale well into a longer game like this. Novas have been connecting though, every now and then. Like we get a good Nova. The splits are not there for ByuN. He's been taking the Novas to the face, but it doesn't matter. He can afford it. ByuN, he likes it, man. He likes it. The Nexus is going to go down. ByuN coming in from behind. Does run into the Zealots and should be kiting, so a little bit of inattentiveness there from ByuN. But regardless, he just trades well anyway. Yeah, he breaks through anyway. Regardless, he takes down all the Zealots. Does push through. And that was the final main army here of Shameless, the final stand. He's forced to recall. Shameless almost has nothing left. Again, Shameless, he started things off in a really good position. I will say that Shameless, he had the better early game, he had the better mid game as well. Shameless, he was in a commanding position early on. He had a lead, but he lost that lead. Did lose it. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 2. We're tied up 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We have a back and forth, and again, Shameless, he had such a strong start as well. Like, the early game worked, you almost can't ask for a better early to mid game from Shameless. Sniping Stim, shutting down the early game, gaining map control, taking all those bases as well, sniping the first tanks, denying the drops, containing your opponent. But we did try to emphasize the importance of fighting for the 4th and fighting for the 5th base. I see some people saying in the chat, talking about like taking bad fights or needing tech switch sooner. A lot of this came down to not being able to stop ByuN. ByuN, he was able to freely get a 4th. Remember, Shameless didn't fight for it. He did not fight for the 4th base. He was out of position. And likewise, Shameless, he failed to fight for the 5th base as well. For ByuN, for a Terran player to freely expand in such a way, to freely get a 4th and 5th base, that is almost unacceptable. Like, you can't let that happen. Otherwise, the Terran just gets out of hand. They just get out of control. Snowball out of control. Yeah. And we saw ByuN just comfortably get into his 4 bases, get into his 5 bases. Again, ByuN, he wasn't being active, he wasn't being aggressive on the map, he was just being very defensive. Now, on the other hand, I will also emphasize that Tokamak is the best map for that. is the best. We talk about this all the time. It is the most defensive map in the map pool. More defensive than Magnatha, more defensive than Leylines. Tokamak is the easiest map to turtle up on 4 and 5 bases. So the map was helping ByuN for sure, for sure. The map was helping him. The map was working against Shameless, but Shameless had to adapt to that, right? It's like, hey, if your opponent is going to be able to freely expand, then Shameless needs to be greedier, needs to take more gases, and needs to take up faster as well. Like there are other ways to approach that, but yeah, Shameless, it did feel like he was kind of stumbling his way in the late game, and it was not pretty. But here we go, we're getting into game at number 3, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Torches, we have the South Korean Terran player, we have the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the red Protoss player, the third Protoss player himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And welcome to Torches, and this is where I do favor Shameless now. So winding it back, we're loading into one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, a much smaller map as well. This map is not known for long and late game, not at all. It's known for shenanigans, known for all-ins, known for cheese, known for aggression. Welcome to Torches, one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool, but in the best of 5, it gets through. It makes it through the veto process. Again, we have these gold patches here outside of the natural. We have the gold bases in the center, gold bases on the left. We have the healing pad on the left-hand side as well. We have no Reaper Cliff coming into the main base, which makes it more difficult for the Terran player to scout. Likewise, short rush distance by air. It is very popular to go double gas into a factory, into fast tech lab, into add-on swap, into fast Banshee play. Banshees are very popular on this map. We have seen a shift in the meta where, because Banshees was so trendy for a time, Protoss players were blindly opening up Stargate into Phoenixes to hard counter Banshees and to hard counter that kind of style. So then we had Terran players stop going Banshees and start going into more standard play. So we've had like a bit of a back and forth when it comes to the meta on Torches. So we'll see how we open up. Shall see. And again, shout out to ByuN. ByuN looking very comfortable in the late game on Tokamak, which again, as we mentioned, is what he's known for. He's known for the mid game, known for the late game, known for being more later game focused. But that all goes out the window on Torches. Oh, and there it is, Stargate. We just brought it up. We just spoke about how in the meta, because Banshee play was so common on Torches, we saw the rise in popularity of Stargate openers on this map as well. Stargate openers are rare. They're a rare sight in standard TvP, but specifically on Torches, we see Stargate play more often than not. And a big reason for that is that rush distance by air. So short rush distance by air. Meanwhile, Tech Lab is on the way. There's that starport. We'll see what ByuN gets into. If ByuN blindly goes Cloak Banshee, then Shameless can shut him down. Ooh, as ByuN gets in. Yeah, that should not have happened. ByuN, he gets into the mineral line, gets one, gets 2 probes. Now going for the main, and ByuN, he's going to get a full scout as well. Or does he? He should. Yeah, he should be able to. Gets behind the mineral line. Yep, goes further in. Does confirm the tech of choice. Ay, ay, ay. And this tells ByuN to make Vikings, to make Cyclones, to make Vikings, to get ready for what's to come. They'll go Phoenix production out of Shameless, and ByuN can punish this. ByuN can punish. He's actually going for the medevac. Oof. Going for the medevac, which means he's going for aggression, going for an early move out. Now, the scary thing about Phoenix openers and Stargate openers, and why they are for the most part out of meta, is because against all-ins, Protoss players, they struggle. Like Phoenixes, they don't really help against 2-base all-ins. They don't really help when your opponent pulls the boys. So ByuN will have the option to commit. Shameless breaks out. Does confirm the Phoenixes, of course. And he does get a full scout. He does confirm no tech lab. No tech lab on the starport. Army coming in from behind. Phoenixes getting caught out, and here comes the surround. Yeah, ByuN is hunting for the Phoenixes, and he will find them. He's gonna get one, and he might even get the other. Ooh. That second Phoenix does barely pull away. But a very nice catch here from ByuN. Already a stronger start for the Terran behind this third CC on location. So he's not going for a 2-base all-in. He's going for the third CC, dropping into the main. So we're getting to a longer game. Gets a probe. Gets a probe, gets a worker. Once again, hunting for another Phoenix. Oh god! Can he get it? Barely not. Whew. Logan is broken. Shameless does get away. And we're going Phoenix Colossus. Very old school. Very old school here for Shameless. Going Phoenix Colossus. Oh, miss rally. Thankfully does recall. Does recall in time. As we are kind of slowing things down and building up into the mid game. Building up into it. I will say that ByuN, he was quite greedy getting his third on location, and so far he's getting away with it. There's no way for Shameless to really punish the greed of ByuN. Sure, he has Phoenixes, but so far he has not gotten into a mineral line. He's been trying, don't get me wrong, he's been trying, but so far ByuN has been zoning away. From here, ByuN, he's going to benefit more from the faster third, so I mean this is still a better position for ByuN. Shameless at least will have the Colossus, and I believe ByuN hasn't scouted, so he's not fully aware. Just because it was a Phoenix opener doesn't mean it's going to be Phoenix Colossus 100%. It could be Phoenix into Charge, into Storm, like that is also a viable option. We know that this could be Colossus, but ByuN hasn't confirmed. ByuN, he's yet to confirm. As ByuN, he's never mind. ByuN, he's already working on additional Vikings. Second starport's on the way, so he's going to Mass Viking, which is exactly what he needs. So a solid read here from ByuN. Likewise, setting up defensively, throwing down turrets. We are getting into a longer game. And you can see the supply disparity already. You couldn't really see it like a minute ago, but over time, like this is when the base kicks in. We spoke earlier how the third base benefits ByuN more because it got up a lot faster, so ByuN has the economic lead, and because of that, now that supply lead is becoming larger and larger. And it should keep going, and should keep growing, I should say. So ByuN is in a stronger position. Meanwhile, we have disruptors on the way. Okay, so early disruptor production. Basically, Shameless goes double Colossus, then straight into disruptors. So Shameless, he will have potential with these Novas. Scan reveals them, so ByuN knows. ByuN, he knows, he is aware. ByuN scouts the fourth base, getting fully saturated. Fourth base on the way for ByuN. I don't know if ByuN should be pushing here, though. I don't really think he has the potential to get much done. I see MP. But he cannot push into 3 disruptors. Going for the drop. Observer does spot this. Yeah, Observer does confirm. Phoenix as they move in position. And they will get 1 medevac. Oh, barely not. Medevac does unload. Now, as we're building on more disruptors, I do feel like I favor Shameless in a head-on fight, just because of the just sheer amount of disruptors. When it comes to ByuN, he's working towards Liberators, but he's still a ways away. The Fusion Core's on the way, that's for Liberator range, and the Starports, I believe, are just now finishing up. 2 Starports. Okay, so just 2 Starports. ByuN is working towards those Liberators. Until then, I do give the edge to Shameless when it comes to these head-on fights. Last game, we saw that ByuN was able to successfully defend, and he had a lot of the terrain working alongside him to defend on Tokamak. Here on Torches, he doesn't really have that. ByuN does commit, does dodge the Novas. Nova goes up, does take down 1 and Ghost. Meanwhile, 2 Immortals going to be going down, and nice pickoffs. Takes down the Immortal, denies the expansion. ByuN just bullying Shameless back. Bully him back. Oh my god, the Novas are connecting. Yeah, some brutal Novas. ByuN does take him to the face, but he will still deny the expansion. It's a kill, not a cancel. Yeah, kill on the Nexus. Does target by the Disruptors. Still a very tense fight, but ByuN will overwhelm. Yeah, he overwhelms. GG gets called. He breaks through all the disruptors. GG gets called. And ByuN, he will take a 2-1 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Was not easy pushing into 5 disruptors, and he did take 1 or 2 Novas to the face, but overall he was able to pick off the expansion, he was able to pick off the Immortals, he was still trading or out trading Shameless, and again, we spoke about it, ByuN had the greater economy. Remember, ByuN, he freely got his 3rd CC up and running. ByuN, he had a boosted economy compared to Shameless, and with that, he was able to build up, he was able to out trade, able to overwhelm. GG. GG, well played, and with that, we're now getting into game number 4, and ByuN is 1 game away from claiming the series. We'll see if Shameless can bounce back. Ooh, as we are loading into Ley Lines. Okay, Ley Lines is going to be one of the more standard maps in the map pool, but this is the map where we have seen ByuN be hyper greedy on. We'll see if he does that here as well. Meanwhile, when it comes to Shameless, again, he went for a Stargate opener. It was very lackluster. Like, the Phoenixes didn't really get much done. I would say that more or less Shameless lost map control early on, losing the first Phoenix and being forced back. Like, the Phoenixes didn't get any economic damage done either. So yeah, they didn't really achieve too much here. And sure, he was able to get into Colossus and Disruptors, but just getting into the mid game did come in from behind. And here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 4, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. In the series 2-1, it is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Shameless. Here we go. And for the most part, my eyes are going to be on ByuN. Is ByuN going to be greedy or not? What does ByuN go for? He does have a little bit of breathing room in this series. Like, he's up 1-0. He's up 2-1. Does have that game advantage, so he may take a chance. I would say that it's going to be on Shameless to confirm that and to punish that as well, if it were to occur. We'll see. Don't forget the stretch. Don't forget the stretch. Posture check in the chat. As for now, we're going to be settling in. It is going to be single gas. Single gas opener, so economic start at ByuN, going racks into CC, into a factory follow-up. Not going 3 CC before factory. Okay, okay. So it does go for an economic start. Meanwhile, Shameless behind this, going to be settling into his own standard opener as well. Oh, that is Tech Lab first. Okay, so ByuN is being quite greedy here. He's going Racks, Expand, into Factory, into Tech Lab. There's no Marine, there's no Reaper. From here, we can go into early Marauder, or we can go for an earlier add-on swap. There it is, early add-on swap into early Cyclone. Okay. So Cyclone opener here out of ByuN. If there was like an early Zealot or a Proxy across the map, then ByuN would be in danger just because he'd have nothing to work with and nothing to defend. But here is looking comfortable, and Shameless does open up Stalker into Sentry. Twilight counter behind this, most likely working towards Blink. So from here we're settling in. So far, ByuN, he will be able to get away with said greed. And we'll see what is going to be done with the Tech Lab after this. For now, single Cyclone into Widowmine drop. But from here, we can go for an add-on swap into early Stim. We can keep the Tech Lab on the factory and go into early tank production. So we do have options with how we want to use this Tech Lab, how we want to use this factory. But now getting ready for the mine drop. And Shameless just playing safe. Blink is on the way, throws down a gateway. We're expecting another gateway and a robo. We're expecting a delayed third nexus, as we're already taking our gases. So 2 gases at the natural, 3 gates of Blink into the robo. So a very safe play here from Shameless. ByuN is going to be boosting in. He will distract at the natural, and he has a Widowmine waddling into the third. It shouldn't get much done. Oh, I spoke too soon. Yeah, Shameless, he was a little bit too close there. He was clumped up, 3 probes going down, and the Widowmine survives. ByuN doesn't lose anything. Ay, ay, ay. Behind this, we have confirmation, early tank production. We're keeping the Tech Lab on the factory. We built a Tech Lab on the starport, so early tank production, early Banshee. This looks like a ByuN move out. What is a ByuN push? What is a ByuN move out in TvP? He's pushing without Stim. He's going for a Slimless move out, but with 2 to 3 tanks. It's going to be a terrifying army, and it is designed to break the third base. And potentially end the game. Meanwhile, Hallucination does scouts. Shameless, he sees the army, he sees the setup, he should know. He should know what's going on, and here comes ByuN. Oh boy. And again, he wants that third expansion. At least. Oh! See, Medevac barely does get away. I spoke too soon. Blink is available. Medevac does fall. ByuN is pushing. Behind the Stim begins, getting into Stim, +1. ByuN hoping to catch out the army. But Shameless, he does engage, he does slow this down. Really important fight here for Shameless. And Shameless defends. Shameless, he has defended. Because so many Marines went down, ByuN is going to be deterred from pushing into the third. So he's stuck in the center. Oh, no, he's still going. Yeah, he's still going for it. At the same time, here comes the backstab. Shameless hits the natural. Boys are going to be pulled. Big losses here for ByuN. At the same time, he's moving in. And now the third base is not good enough. Now it's not good enough because SCVs are falling. Oh, never mind. Does recall back home. Shameless goes to the recall. ByuN defends, and ByuN, he will deny the third. Third base is going to be denied. I say that, he blinks. He dives in on top of the tanks. Crazy move here by Shameless. He gets 1, he gets 2. He's going to lose all the Stalkers. Oh, this is not worth it. He does get the final tank, but he will lose the army, and he will lose the third base as well. GG gets called. That was not worth it, and ByuN, he will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. I was expecting a pseudo base trade with Shameless getting SCV kills across the map, but also cancelling his third. Instead, Shameless, he chose to recall back home. He chose to try to fight for his third base. That was not the call to make, and he lost everything. Instead of just cancelling the third base, he lost the army, and he lost the third as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN does snowball into a win, but a shout out to Shameless, because Shameless had a really good showing here in this series. Despite how the series ended, I do want to give credit to Shameless for taking down Hero 3-0 and looking dominant in the first game and in the first half of the second game as well. Like, I was all aboard the Shameless hype train. Like, game 1 was very impressive by Shameless. He almost hard countered, or he just shut ByuN down so hard on Pylon. And again, game 2 was a really strong showing and really strong start from Shameless as well, when it came to shutting down the early proxy, shutting down the early tank, denying stim, and gaining map control, mass expanding. Like, everything was going well, everything was going right for Shameless, but it did look like he has maybe less experience in the late game, or he's less confident in the late game. He was very tentative. He was very, very tentative. I don't know if it was nerves, I don't know if it was I don't know if it was lack of experience, or just the fact that he was ahead against ByuN, and that can sometimes get to you as well. But again, like, Shameless, he had a massive lead in game 1 and he lost it. He lost that lead slowly over time, as ByuN was able to successfully just defend, turtle up, get his own 3rd, his 4th, his 5th base as well. Yeah, it was a brutal kind of like battle of attrition there that Shameless did lose in game number 2. And then of course game 3 and 4 was a little bit more dominant in favor of ByuN. But again, Shameless had a really good showing, had a really good performance here. GG, well played. GG, well played. And with that, ByuN is going to be our champion, and congratulations. Hope you all had a great time here during the PiGosaur Cup. Again, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week we feature the PiGosaur Cup, featuring players from the Americas, players from Korea, and players from Europa as well. They all come together to compete, to face off in the PiGosaur Cup. Again, we have 3 regular weeklies. We have PiGosaur Cup, which is the more NA/Korean weekly. We have TvP Monday, which is more European and Korean. And we have the Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is also more Korean and European as well, just on a different day. Tuna Cup is on Sunday, TvP Monday is on Monday, and we have PiGosaur Cup, which is on Wednesday. And sometimes there's the Monday Night Weekly. Sometimes it's a little bit less regular. It's a little bit more regular, but every now and then there's a Monday Night Weekly as well, which is just a more European-centric tournament. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Hope you'll enjoy yourselves. Again, we had an intense back and forth, an intense tournament. And when it comes to the rest of our schedule here, bam, you have it before you. Now we're here on Wednesday. So last night we were live with Sparkling Tuna Cup. This morning we were just live with the PiGosaur Cup, and tonight at 9:30 p.m. KST, that is going to be 10:30 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in around 9 hours. In 9 hours time, we're going to be live with the OC King of the Hill. That is a King of the Hill best of 1 style tournament, where the winner stays on, the loser is eliminated in a best of 1 style format. We have 15 best of 1s back to back to back to back. It's a lot of fun. It's a unique format. It is a lot of fun, and players like ByuN are regulars. ByuN, Shameless, Jumi, a lot of these guys, MaxPack, Spirit, do show up for the King of the Hill, Percival as well, and many others. So do check it out. That's going to be 9 hours. Tomorrow we're going to be live with the podcast. After that, we have the Sunny Lake Cup as well. That's going to be Thursday evening, Friday morning. We have the weekend is going to be busy. We have KSL, we have the K Cup, we have STC, we have SDO. We have a lot of StarCraft over the week, and we'll do our best to bring everything to you here and now on the Cranky Ducklings. If you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live, then check out the VODs. Check out our YouTube channel, !socials in the chat, to have a look at our YouTube. Again, we do upload on a daily basis over on YouTube, so we have plenty of content there. Otherwise, I'm gonna go get some breakfast. It is 2 p.m. It's almost 2 p.m. here in Australia, and I am starving, so I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna go get some food, and I'm probably gonna edit some VODs. I probably have to edit some VODs and get ready for tonight. I might get some sleep. It's really cold today. It's really cold, and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, or at least my throat is feeling a little bit sore. So I'll try to take care of myself, warm up, wrap myself up in a robe or something, and yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back later on tonight for OSC King of the Hill. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and yeah, we'll see you later on tonight or tomorrow or whenever we see you. Again, we're live on a daily basis, so I'm sure we'll see you at some point throughout the week. Hope you have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. Take care. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.